What's cracking, YouTube family? I'm back with another video, and I, there's a lot going on in the world of the NBA today. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of craziness, a lot of madness. I'm not even sure what to think about this right now. There's so many upsets going on. There's so many, rise from nothingness going on. I don't even know what to think. Literally, like, I'm speechless. Like, one thing that I was definitely aware of was that LeBron and Anthony Davis was going to pair up and do big things. Then they had the nerve to add Dwight Howard, Danny Green, and the rest of the cast that they got going on. I knew that was going to be a really dope squad. I knew they was going to go for it. I didn't know they was going to do this well. I wasn't really expecting them to do this well, but especially since it's first time with this particular team, they're doing very well to have meshed this quickly, this well. But and then on the other side of things, on the East, the Boston Celtics doing their thing, but of course they do have one of my favorite players in Kemba Walker, who was formerly on my favorite team, the Hornets. There's so many mixed emotions about that in itself. I don't even know how to express myself, because I'm sad that he left the Hornets, but I understand why, because they wasn't helping him out talent wise to get where he needed to be. So I mean, if upstairs isn't going to give you, if upper management isn't going to give you the tools to win when you're pouring your heart out every day on the court, then I don't really blame you. Can't really blame it, brother. But it's really sad that it was Michael Jordan's team that that in itself really puts a bad taste in my mouth. I mean, Michael Jordan being the greatest player of all time, he's supposed. You would think that everybody and their brother would be like, "Oh my God, I gotta go play for him. Gotta play for him." But that's like I said, that's a whole nother topic, whole nother. Sticking with the topic at hand, though, through about 15 games for some teams, I think some teams will actually play about 15 games, but through about between 12, I think I would say actually more between 10 and 14 games for the majority. This has been a crazy ride this NBA basketball season. So, just to give you an idea, we're going to look at the scores for tonight. Just the ones that have completed, and there's still one more game, but we'll go into detail about that later. But just look at these games. Like, for instance, we're gonna start on that side first with the freaking New York Knicks beat the Sixers. Like, what? And by 5, it wasn't like even a clincher. It wasn't like a 1-point game or anything like that. They beat them by 5 points. Like, I'm lost. I'm like, how would it, that's a major upset, because the Sixers were supposed to be like the #1 team. That's who everyone was saying. Oh, the Sixers are going to be the #1 team in the East this year. Blah blah blah, so on and so forth. and they're getting beat by the Knicks, one of the worst teams in the league, period. Both conferences this year. I don't even know what to say about that. Now, next game, Bucks, Hawks. That's to be expected. That's no upset. That's no surprise. I am surprised that the Hawks scored as much, but Trae Young has been balling out, and so I'm still surprised that the game was that close. 8-point win. I would have given them at least 10, maybe 15. But okay, then the Heat, which are actually doing really well this season, they beat the Cavs. That's nothing not surprising. Then the Cavs have returned to the failure team that they have been when they don't have LeBron, so that's no surprise. And then on top of it, they've lost. Granted, he messed up their chances in the finals that one year, but they lost J.R. Smith, they lost LeBron, they lost Kyrie, they are about to lose Kevin Love because I keep on hearing about him being on the trade block for so much. I'm not even sure what's going on there. But, yeah, their team is just like, I don't know. But then the Raptors, people were kind of wondering how they were going to do without Kawhi, but they seem to be doing pretty good. They beat the Lakers. That's one of the Lakers' actual losses. So they're pretty much holding their own. That's actually not surprising with the Jazz beating the Timberwolves. At least not to me, because the Jazz are pretty good on defense. So that's not surprising. Yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and start. Go up above. That game's not even finished with the Celtics and the Clippers, but the Celtics are winning, which is proving again that they're up there, tops in the Eastern Conference, beating a Western team that's supposed to be up there, one of the title contenders. So that actually kind of speaks volumes in regards to that particular situation. The Wizards beat the Spurs. That's kind of surprising because Spurs, even though they're no longer in their big three era, they still have players like DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge, players of that caliber that are pretty good and whatnot. I mean, they scored 132 points, so I mean they got to be doing something good. Just that the Wizards kind of held them out, but now this, this don't even make no sense. Like, first off, the Warriors didn't even hit 100. On top of it, they let the Dallas Mavericks score almost 150 points. Holy crap. Sheesh. Now, I mean, granted, I know that, the Warriors have been through a lot. They lost KD, which they never should have really had to begin with, but it happened. And then, but of course, him leaving made the NBA more reasonable. And then they've lost Sean Livingston to retirement. They lost the Splash Brothers, both Clay and Steph, to injury. They picked up D'Angelo Russell, but even he's injured or nursing an injury as well. So really, all they have at the moment, and then of course they also lost their sixth man of the year and Andre Iguodala. So I mean, they've been through quite a bit. So I mean, yeah, they're pretty much in a rebuilding phase at the moment. For the moment, now things may look up a little bit once Clay and Steph and Russell all come back, but I've never really felt like that three guard lineup is going to do them any good. I don't know why they did that. Bringing in D'Angelo Russell is going to be good while Klay Thompson is out, but that's not really making any sense to me. Like, once Klay Thompson comes out, what is D'Angelo Russell going to do? Is he going to play small forward? Or are you going to relegate him to the bench and say, hey, you were a starter for 2 or 3 years with the Brooklyn Nets, and now we're going to relegate you back to the bench? Nah, I don't know how I'd feel about that if I was him. Especially since he's still not even reached his prime. I think the dude is still only like 23. So nah, I would feel some kind of way if I was him if that ends up happening. They better not do that to that dude. He's actually doing pretty good. I think only in his fifth year. Nah, but I better not do that brother that way. But still, I don't care what the situation is. This right here is a mighty fall from glory right there, boy. 142 to 94. Anyway, so I mean the other. Well, I was gonna say that the others really don't matter because the Brooklyn Nets should have beat my Hornets worse than that. So the Nets aren't really shaping up to the way they should be, even though they don't have KD right now. Kyrie should be leading them a whole lot better, and because they had a pretty solid foundation before, so I'm not really sure what's going on with them. Detroit should definitely beat Chicago. I'm not sure what's going on there either, especially with D Rose balling out like he has been. I don't know what's going on there. That doesn't even begin to make sense to me. D Rose, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond. That should be a big three. Like if they were all three in their primes, technically I think Andre Drummond still is kind of on the younger side. I think he's like maybe 25, 26. But the other two aren't so much. But even still, those three are pretty beast mode together. You would think that would be a pretty beast mode combination. So I'm flabbergasted about what in the world is going on with this score. How they got beat by 20 points. And then also trying to figure out what happened here, which I'm kind of blocking the way, but let me just raise it up a little bit then. Let's see here. We got the Rockets getting beat by 10 points by the Denver Nuggets. So I'm not sure, man. I feel like when I kind of put some things together, that kind of sounds about right. Like that would be if that was a playoff series, I think that would be a best of 7 series with the Nuggets winning. Because even though the Rockets have both Russell Westbrook and James Harden, it's just those two. They don't really. They have Clint Capella, who's their defensive glass cleaner, shot blocker and all that kind of stuff. But he's not contributing on the offense. Of course, they don't really need that much offense with the other two there. But the Nuggets have more of a even keel team with like people who are grinding at each position, doing different things, and they have a steady bench. So that's crazy. But yeah, man, this in itself is just showing that the NBA this year is crazy. It's just like going on a whole different level. Like the dynamic duos is back in effect. No more big threes at the moment. No more solidified big threes, I guess you could say. There are some arguable big threes. But even so, uh, y'all let me know how y'all feel down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And there'll be more videos tomorrow. But I'll catch y'all guys in the next video. Peace.